Hi, if you are registered for a KACEE workshop, you've got the right video. I am Ashlyn Kite-Hartwick, and I am one of the education program specialists that works for KACEE, the Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education, and I'm really excited to have you in the workshop, and I'm thrilled to get to connect with you virtually during your pre-workshop coursework, which will include this video and 2 more videos. So we're super excited to have you. Thank you. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start you off in this video with some introductions. I'm going to give you a little bit of intro on me and my background, and then I'm also going to introduce you to KACEE and one of our other programs that we run, so you have a little bit of that background knowledge before you even get to the workshop. So a little bit of background on me. I am from a very small town called Onega, Kansas. We are up in the northeast corner of the state, about 45 minutes north and east of Manhattan and 45 minutes to an hour north and west of Topeka. So that kind of gives you an idea where we are. I live in the country with my husband and our daughter, and we are also getting ready to have a baby in March. So we have a growing family. Let's see, I actually got my degree in park management and conservation through Kansas State University, and was actually lucky enough to get an internship with KACEE about, I think, 8.5 years ago. And so I've been actually working with KACEE ever since. And this is actually my favorite part of my job, is getting to do workshops and getting to talk with you folks like we're going to do in the face-to-face portion of this workshop, and see what interesting things that you have going on at your schools and your programs and what you're doing with the kids and what your interests are. And so that's the really fun stuff, and I'm excited to get to do that with you. Okay, so, I should probably also tell you where I got my love of all things outdoors and getting kids outside. Probably definitely would say that came from my parents and my grandparents, who all took me outside all the time when I was a kid. We did everything from camping, canoeing, hiking, exploring, seeing state parks and national parks, all those things. So that's where my love of being outdoors and wanting to share that with educators, Kansas educators, and wanting that for Kansas kids, that's where my love of that comes from. So a little bit of background on KACEE. We're the Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education, and what we do is we promote and provide science-based, non-biased conservation and environmental education for the whole state of Kansas. We do this in several different formats. One of the main on-the-ground ways that we do this is through workshops, just like this. And like I said, these are the really fun things because we really get to connect with you and see what you're interested in and where you are in your part of the state and what's going on and happening there, and what your kids are interested in. So there are typically 3 main audiences that we work with KACEE through our workshops and our other programs. But typically our 3 audiences are formal educators. So if you're in a classroom, day in, day out, you're a teacher in a classroom, you would fall into that category of formal educator. We also work with non-formal educators, which is a big category because that would include anyone who works at like a zoo, a nature center, a park, could be a parent, Boys and Girls Clubs, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts, all of those kind of support organizations who work with schools. You would fall into our non-formal educator category. And then last but not least, we also work with pre-service educators or college students who are going to school to either become educators in the field of environmental education or conservation, or those who are going to school to actually become formal classroom teachers. So those are the 3 groups of folks that we typically work with. And that's a little bit of just a quick, in a nutshell, background about KACEE and what we do. And one of our other really important programs that we run is called the Kansas Green Schools Program. And this is a free program to any Kansas public or private school. And it's basically a network that those schools can join. And what they have access to within that network is connecting with other schools in the state who are also doing green projects at their school. And they also have access to 5 investigations that you can complete as a Kansas school that have 5 different focus areas for each investigation. 1 is water, 1 is energy, 1 is waste and recycling, 1 is the learning community of the school, and the healthy school environment. So as a school who would join the Kansas Green Schools Network, they can have access to other Kansas Green Schools and see what they're doing in the state, and they have access to those 5 investigations, and then can actually also apply for recognition as a Kansas Green School of excellence and be recognized within the state for that achievement. So now that you have got this background on KACEE, really short and quick, and a little bit of background on the Kansas Green Schools program, you're going to check out the email that we sent you, which will have a couple of links that'll correlate to this video number 1, and then you're going to complete a very, very, very short assignment to go along with video number 1, and then you're going to come back and you're going to click on the link for video number 2, which will introduce you to nature deficit disorder and environmental education, and we'll go from there. So I'll see you at video 2. Thanks.